Hello to all the comic fans, Marvel geeks, and all the nerds in between. Welcome to another episode of the Vigilante Vibes podcast, where we talk all things Marvel, along with other fandoms, but without the toxicity that's taken up way too much space in each and every fandom. I'm your host, Megan Nicole, and today I have a very special return guest with me today. You may remember her as the screenwriter that came on a few months ago, but today it is going to be all about Thunderbolts. So thank you, Amy, for joining me so we can talk all about the new movie.
Of course, I'm so excited to be here.
Great. So, what? Well, I don't even know where to dive in for the movie. Like, where do you go?
Well, I've got 3 pages of notes here.
3 pages.
3 pages. I watched it 3 times, so
Oh,
we
okay.
have like 3 pages. I did sort it by character arcs is the first thing we've got. So let's talk about Bob. So I don't know if you've seen The Crowded Room with Tom Holland at all,
Have
but
not.
whoa, like the vibes were like the same. Bob and I don't remember his character's name, but whoever Tom Holland played, it was so eerily similar. I was like, okay. And then what else? So you probably know way more about like Sentry and his powers than I do. But as someone who hasn't really read Sentry comics, I was just like, okay, his powers seem like heat based because he's like melting gun barrels and then boiling water, and he runs hot in the elevator shaft. So, like, can you enlighten us a little bit on what's going on there?
So, Century is basically Marvel's Superman.
hmm
Um, there's really not much he can't do. He has superhuman strength. He has energy manipulation, flight, and vulnerability. It's a lot. It's not really heat based. That was something new.
Okay.
I was a little confused because all the comics I've read, they've never mentioned heat.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, I guess that's what we're doing today.
It's different. Okay, okay. Well, I was like, I was trying to figure out, okay, what's something in the MCU that we've seen that could be like a heat-based thing? And it's like, oh, maybe Extremis from like, I think it was Iron Man 3. And
Yes.
so, like, maybe they could have gotten a hold of that, like, however they made that and all that. I don't know. I don't know. It'd be interesting to see like how he got his powers exactly. And yeah.
It I think they didn't show it because in the comics there's a few different versions of how they did it and they kind of meshed it all into one. In one version he was in this movie, he was a meth addict that broke into a security lab just to get a hit. Yeah, well, not
hmm
security, science lab, just so he could get high off something. But then there was he signed up for the Century Project to get, till they do trials on him and all that. So they kind of meshed it together, made him, a meth head and someone who was going in to just improve themselves as a person, I guess. So I liked how they did it, but I think that's why they didn't
hmm
show it. So I kind of like the mystery they involved with it.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I don't think every single character needs like 10 pages of exposition, you know. I really liked how they did it this time. Like they kind of just threw you right into Yelena like diving off the roof. I loved that.
It was such a big deal too that she like went to Kevin Feige and said, "I want to jump off the second biggest
Yes.
building in the world." And he is like,
Oh my goodness.
yeah, he was like, "Hey, no, you, we have insurance on you as a person." And she's like, "No, I'm gonna do it." And then she just did it, and it was such a big thing. It was like she's so badass, she's so cool, and it was all just
Yes.
for the opener, for that one scene.
hmm
She really,
hmm
I think she's just an adrenaline junkie and saw her chance.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I would have a hard time passing that up. I would be
I
scared out of
wouldn't.
my mind, but
I would not have a hard time. Like, nope.
it'd be fun. I don't know. I'd do it once. But
Ah,
I don't know about 9 times.
it
Like
would
she did it,
have
I
to
think
be.
9 times.
Did
That's
she? It wasn't just once.
yeah. Well, yeah, they had to do multiple takes and whatever. It was
I
like,
well, I don't know.
whoa.
Oh my gosh. It would depend on where I'm at in life. Like if I'm like very
Mm.
content, I am good. No. If I'm like, I need something. I just need something to like jolt to change something in my life, then I think I would do it. Like I want to go bungee jumping
Okay.
or skydiving. I want to do that. But straight jumping off the tallest building, it's different because you can see at the bottom. I can't do that.
Hmm.
I cannot.
Yeah. Pretty high stakes.
Pretty high stakes.
Pretty high stakes,
She had a
yeah.
whole movie riding on her and she's like, I just want to do it.
Yeah, go for it.
Oh my.
Queen, oh my goodness.
Kevin Feige
Love
must have
her.
had an aneurysm.
Poor guy, he's probably having aneurysms all the time anyway, just based on things I've read and whatever, but
I've read the same. Yeah.
yes. Anyway. Okay, what else do I have? The way he was playing with the Rubik's Cube during the attic scene, like he was still trying to solve it before he like started breaking down when Yelena like grabbed his arm, and I'm like, oh my goodness. Because like you don't necessarily right away just be like, yeah, I mean this happens, this is fine, and then you know whatever. But I don't know what I'm trying to say,
Well, it's
but it
interesting
stuck out to me.
that he was playing with the Rubik's Cube because that's usually like in movies, that's usually a sign of like, oh, this person's a genius because they can do a Rubik's Cube. I can't do a
Mm,
Rubik's Cube, so apparently I'm a
me
moron.
either.
So apparently we suck. But
We're
it's
both just a
interesting
bunch of
because
morons.
in the because in the comics, in the different iterations of his origin, one is where he's just like a moron. And the other's like he's like super smart. So I'm
Mm,
curious if that is like leaning on that a little bit.
maybe. I don't
Maybe.
know.
Maybe.
I like how when he was Sentry, he didn't want to kill anyone. Um, reminded me of Spider-Man, you know.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, and again, you're the comics expert here. How do you think the Void's powers work?
It was interesting how they did it. They showed them as two different people, but in the same vessel. But in the comics, it's sometimes it's like that, and sometimes it's not. In Sentry's solo run, Sentry has the Void locked in his basement. Like,
Oh,
so
okay.
yeah. I was curious how they were going to do that because that's a slippery slope. It's either really, really cool or something just like you tried. But I really liked it. They made the Void as unhinged and as creepy as he is in the comics, so they nailed it.
Yes, they absolutely did. And I like love the visual effects on that. Like, ooh, when I saw it in the trailer and it was just those like little tiny dots of light for the eyes, I'm like, okay, he's creepy. This is gonna be an awesome movie.
Yeah, and they made him just as evil as he is in the comics. In the comics, he tells Sentry at one point, because Sentry's whole thing is he wants to save people. That is why he's the Sentry. He like so Bob, a little dweeby
Bob.
guy, right? That
Yes.
he's in the comics, he is that little dweeby guy. But when he suits up as Sentry, he's this huge, muscly man, like a man's man, like the man that like at one point Bob's wife was like, "Can you wear Sentry into bed?" Like it's that.
Oh,
It was
okay.
very sad. He was like,
Yeah.
"What?" It was so sad. But like that's the big difference there.
Okay.
Um, where was I going with that? Oh my gosh. I just started talking.
Oh no, we're talking about
What
the
if
void.
we were? Oh, so I don't know why that has anything to do with what I was going to say. I'm so sorry. Um,
You're good.
so with the void, his whole thing is like, I'm just going to ruin this guy's life. And that's what he tries to do. But Sentry, he tries to save people. His whole thing is, I want to save people while I'm the Sentry. So in the
Mm.
comics, he has like this AI that tells him, like, this big event is happening in 23 seconds. This many people are going to die in 14 seconds. You have to save these people. You have time to save these. You don't have time to save these. And that is consistent while he's Sentry. So that's all he does is save people. The Void goes and tells Sentry, for every person you save, I'm going to kill someone. So that is what this guy's about. He is,
Yep.
it's like petty, but like Satan's version of petty.
Mm,
Yeah.
gotcha. Yeah. Oh. And then, oh, the way he was like calling Bob a hero, like tying it back to his childhood traumas, like, dude, come on.
Ah,
Oh,
yeah.
that was a lot. That
I
was a
think
lot.
everyone left this movie saying, I need therapy. Like,
I know. It was great though.
it was. No, I loved the one thing the MCU does really, really well is when they want to, when they tackle mental health, they do it the right way. With like Iron
Hmm.
Man 3, you had
Hmm.
Tony going through PTSD. You have WandaVision, where Scarlet Witch is going through every step of the grief
Hmm.
process. And then you have this where it's like, I think I'm not taking away anything from the other projects, but I think this was the most relatable of any project they've done because I think so many people left and were like, I needed to see that. They feel
Hmm.
exactly how I do. And you saw it in on this big screen into different words, but it was incredibly well done.
Yeah. Yeah, it was. It was. And like I think the writers did a really good job too. Making it not preachy. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Yeah. Yeah. What do you want to talk about? I'm gonna put my notes down for a minute. Like, what do you want to talk about?
So I'm sure you've seen that Marvel spoiled it for everyone who did not see it.
Yes, I did see that.
So what do you think?
I don't know. I mean, if it gets people into the theaters, that's good. I I mean, I don't know. I don't really know how I feel about it. How about you?
Um, I think it they could have waited a week. That I think it is a brilliant idea, but you could have waited a week. You waited 2 days. Sunday they were putting those signs up on like Hollywood Boulevard and all that. So it's like I like what they did. And then the director, I think it was the director, came out and said like Val was trying to sell that they're the new Avengers to the world, so we did the same thing. And
I
it's
did
like,
see that.
yeah, and I was like, well, good for you, bud, but like some didn't see it yet. The whole
Yeah.
mystery was the asterisk, and you took that from them.
Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. Marketing is not my thing,
It's not
so.
Marvel's either.
Oh,
It's not.
shots fired.
It like I think because Ironheart comes out June 24th. Have
Mm.
you heard anything about it?
I did see that one article that I
That
sent you.
Empire, that Empire posted and Marvel Studios reposted, which is
Yeah.
like, oh my gosh. I just give me 2 weeks as their head of marketing. I will get it back on track. I can do it. I think so.
All right. Well, have a drop. No, I'm kidding. I have no pull there. Absolutely not. I'm still waiting for my cease and desist letter. Like,
Aren't we all, though? We're all just flying by the seat of our pants, just waiting.
yep.
I'm gonna frame it though. Like Marvel lawyers touch this. So, whatever. So the post-credit scene. What did you
Yes.
think?
I was okay. Well, somehow it got spoiled for me. I don't remember how. Because somebody on something like commented it out of nowhere. They're like, "Oh, the Fantastic Four is in the post-credit scene," and
Rude.
I was like, "There's no way." And then in the credits, it said Fantastic Four theme, and my husband's like, "Wait, what? Where was that?" And I'm like, "Oh no, I got spoiled. That's okay."
I saw someone say that this post-credit scene was spoiled before it happened. And I was like, how is that even possible? Now that makes sense. I didn't realize that's how it did.
Yeah.
Wow. Y'all could have you could have named it something else.
I don't know. I mean, it's like what, 3 minutes later anyway, so.
Yeah, but still, it's like just put me in charge of marketing. I'll I'll get this car turned around. But my
Huh?
thing is, what if it's not the Fantastic Four? What if someone just has their ship because we don't see them? They're in a
That's a
different
good point.
they're in a different universe right now.
Hmm. Hmm.
So like
Yeah,
if they're
I don't know.
traveling universes, would they take a ship? If Silver
No,
Surfer is involved. So I don't think so.
I have no idea.
I don't either. I don't know. But that's my thing. It was too straightforward. But I'm glad they put something there for Fantastic Four because they're not setting up nothing lately. Like, where's the setup for Doomsday? I need to see. They should have, with every movie, they should have had a post credit scene, a really short one that had something to do with Doom, just to build up
Mm,
something. Don't make it a random Doom drop. Because he's not the guy you just do that to. You have to build up to him.
hmm. Hmm. Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure they'll figure it out, and it's gonna be awesome, and it's gonna be mind blowing, and we don't even know.
I'm stressed, Amy. I'm stressed.
You're stressed. Calm down.
Doom Doom is my guy, and they had a whole plan for Kang. They just should have recast. That's all you had to do. But no,
Oh,
I don't know.
oh,
But so Sam is trying to sue for the name to the Avengers.
dude, Sam, what? That that was a little like, are you petty? What is happening here?
I I just want to point out that Marvel Studios today changed their Avengers Twitter name. They have a Twitter account for the Avengers and put a copyright logo on it. That is that is brilliant. That is genius.
Yes,
I
yes.
love that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Whoever thought of that idea, give that guy a raise. The other people you need to look at a little differently.
My goodness, you are unhinged today.
Well, it's just like if I hadn't seen the movie and I cared about spoilers, I would have been pretty mad because it's like
Mm,
they played off of the asterisk since D23 of last year when they added it. They built off and played off this big mystery. What could it mean? We all had ideas. They didn't drop hints, but they dropped questions like, what does it mean? Oh, the asterisk is down to 4 or 5 legs on it, not 6.
yeah,
They had a whole
that was
thing.
weird.
Yeah, and they had a whole thing about it. And then 2 days later, they're like, "Psych! Guess what? You don't have to watch the movie to see it." It's like if you want people to go to the theater, don't do that.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a marketing guy.
Neither am I, but give me like 5 minutes in the room with Kevin Feige, and I'll get things done. I don't care.
All right. Well, let's go back to
The
my
notes.
papers because I have so many notes. Like, okay, did you see when they had that investigation scene? There was a Mr. Carter, and I was like, "Oh, is that a relative of Peggy Carter?"
Oh, I did not notice that.
Mhm. But I thought it was a fun little Easter egg, even if it's not actually. But
Nothing is coincidence in
I
Marvel,
feel
though.
like it's not,
Yeah,
right?
right. Like
So,
with Daredevil Born Again, how they had an Officer Morales and everyone's like, "Oh, that's nothing. That's not Miles's dad." And you're like, "First of all, that's quite a coincidence. And coincidences don't happen. They do everything on purpose."
I feel like they do.
I
They
feel like they
do.
do.
All right. So, okay. Which is the bigger thing that like you're like, okay, this is a little silly. So they had the timer in the incinerator counting down from 2 minutes. Or do we how did they get from the crashed limo to the gas station? Which one in your mind is a little more like, okay, that's an interesting choice.
I would say the limo is the more interesting choice. I don't think the incinerator with the timer is too weird because of its Val. She wants you to
Mm.
know what's about to happen.
Hmm.
So I think I
Yeah, she
think,
would do that for dramatic effect, wouldn't she?
yeah, just to add salt to the wound. So I don't think is weird. The other parts, like, I guess we're here now. Sure. And but like the movie's so good. It's like you just don't think about those things. You're just like, I don't even
Right.
care. I forgive. I don't care. Just
Yes.
just give me all the deleted scenes.
Right. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, I could talk about the soundtrack all day, but I won't because I'm on my best behavior here, not music nerding. But yes. Oh, like the like little Avengers motifs throughout. It's like, oh my goodness. Like I was kind of thinking that they were gonna call them the Dark Avengers,
That's what
but
I
then
thought.
yes, but then they're like New Avengers. And I'm like, okay, that works too. But I'm
I
like,
was I was mad because I made a breakdown video of the Dark Avengers and everything. And I was like, look, guys, this is what's gonna happen. They're the Dark Avengers, and I think they were playing on that too because I don't know if you realize how many times they said the word dark in their trailers. It was
mm.
like every single one. And so I was like, okay, we get it. You're the Dark Avengers. Guys, these are Dark Avengers. This is what they're about. Sentry is so involved. John Walker, all of them are there. And then no,
And
it
no.
didn't matter at all. And I was like, all right, well, better luck next time. That's fine. I think the
Yeah.
only thing I got right was Taskmaster dying.
Oh my goodness. Taskmaster. Oh boy. Like what? It had to be in the first 10 minutes or something.
I told everyone, everyone in multiple episodes, Taskmaster is going to die like Loki in Infinity War.
Yep.
That is going to be it. And everyone's like, oh, yeah, probably. I'm like, no, I need more hype because I know I'm right. And then it happened, and I was like, hot damn, it happened. And everyone's like, everyone knew that was going to happen. So it's like,
Mhm.
just let me have this. My
I was
theories
like,
never come
okay,
true.
she's either 100% gonna die or they're gonna pull the biggest plot twist in all of cinema history, but they didn't. So that's
Well,
fine.
they made it so blatantly clear that Taskmaster was gonna die, and I was like, are we being punked right now? Like, does Taskmaster actually live? Is she kidnapped and they have to go find her? I was like,
Mm.
there's just no way they're really punking us that hard. Like, you kind of like start to gaslight yourself, and you're like, this is it. That they're really pulling it. They're gonna get us all. And then Taskmaster got shot, and I was like,
Yep.
well, I was right. Which is fine. I don't like what they've done to Taskmaster. So I'm like, I'm totally fine with it. Just give me Anthony Masters as Taskmaster and move it on. No one will question it. We promise to be on our best behavior. No one will ask a single question.
Speaking of punked, okay, there were like two big times that I was like, oh no, they did not just kill off X person. So when Bucky was fighting Sentry, the music just kind of got a little more quiet, and I'm like, no, no, they're not gonna kill off Bucky. They can't. They can't. And I was on the edge of my seat.
I was stuffing popcorn in my mouth so much during that fight because I was like stress eating. I was like, oh my God, I don't want any of them to die. I don't even care if John Walker dies. Like, I don't want any of them to die. And then I've heard the music start to slow down. I was like, oh my God, this is, I can't do
Mhm,
this. I was like,
mhm,
I can't, like,
mhm.
I was looking around. I was like, I can't scream in here. I can't do anything. My, like, my husband's right here. I can't make a scene because he's gonna be like, what is wrong with you? Like,
Bucky, no.
yeah, I was like, I don't think I can mentally handle this. I think this is it. This is it for me. And then he didn't die, and I was like, Marvel, you got me.
You got me. Oh, and then he just got like hit with his own arm. I
I
didn't
was
notice that until the third time I watched it, so I'm a little slow. But yeah, he just got knocked out with his own arm. Like, dang!
Everyone in our theater loved that part. They're like, "Oh, that was awesome!" And I was like, "How dare you?" But it was pretty awesome. Like I really liked it. But
It
still,
was pretty great.
like that whole fight, I thought was so well done. It had so much humor, but it also had like
Mm,
so much action, and there were so many parts where you're like, "This is it." And then at the end, they just ran away. Like that is so
mhm,
unlike un-Avengers like that they just ran away.
mhm.
I was like, that's so relatable. I get you guys. I would do the same
Yes.
thing.
Yes. Yes. That was great. Oh, and the way Ava just like grabbed Bucky's arm. Like, is she like keeping that for herself or is she getting it for him?
I keep
Like,
it for myself for sure.
just use it as a club, you know?
Yeah.
That'd be pretty great.
Um. So, what did you think of Ghost and throughout this movie?
I thought she was cool. Um, I don't know if I have any notes on her specifically. No, I don't.
I
But
like that she was the first one to get into the idea of them being a team. So even when they all hated each other, she
mm,
was still looking out for them. I really like
yeah.
that.
hmm hmm And I liked that. Well, this whole movie really, I like that you didn't have to do a bunch of homework before going into it. Like, if you don't know who Ghost is before coming in, you're fine. Like, it works. And I I really respect that because sometimes it can be hard to do that, but they did, and I think it was great. So,
Well, the only movie you really should watch before it is Black Widow,
hmm
because like all three of their characters are in there. But
yeah.
even if you don't, it's like you can kind of pick up what's going on between Yelena and Red Guardian. So they did really well all around. But it feel like every member was dealing with some kind of mental issue.
hmm
Yeah.
hmm
Because you
Yeah.
could see Yelena going through the depression. She had the hopelessness. That's a really big indicator. Alexei, who
hmm
is in denial about his own life, his own happiness. Ghost,
hmm
she has issues like you wouldn't believe. And then
Yep.
you have Bucky, who's getting over his failure as, what was he, senator? Congressman.
Mm.
Um,
Well, I'm a little confused on that. Did he actually like quit or get fired or whatever? Or was that just
I think
Valentina being a jerk?
I think he was pushed out because of his
Mm,
past. That's what it sounds like,
mm,
that he was like voted out.
gotcha. All right, yeah, I totally missed that.
He mentioned if I think it was a couple times where he was like, it's because of his past, what people think of him, they don't like.
Mm.
So it's like it's easy to see him getting pushed out. What I want to know is why politics, Bucky? Why? Like,
I suppose he thought he could make a change, but uh yeah, don't we're gonna keep the good vibes here. We're not
but
gonna
I
talk
want to
about
know.
politics.
Oh, I don't talk about politics on my show at all. So,
It's good.
but with him, I want to know like what made him want to like what told him that was a good idea.
Mhm.
What did his campaign trail look like? I want to know so much about that. Like I wanted to vote for Bucky's shirt really bad, and they just took that whole
Yes.
scenario away from me.
I was I was about to like get a big poster thing printed out and then stick it in my yard as a yard sign just to confuse everybody. Like, who's Barnes and why is he running for Congress? Like,
And they're like, Amy, it's May. What are you
yep.
doing? Like they could have, if they would have just like if they gave us a limited series of his campaign trail, even like a special presentation, the merch that would come off it alone would be phenomenal.
Yeah. I could see him doing like you remember Thor and Daryl? I could see him doing something like that.
Do I remember
It's
what?
Daryl, right?
What are you talking about?
Oh, it was like when Thor's living on Earth and he's with his roommate Daryl.
Oh, oh, oh.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then
yeah.
like the Grandmaster shows up and like melts a guy, you know.
The usual.
It's fun.
Fun.
The usual.
The usual. But also, do we know where Red Guardian's wife is?
I haven't seen Black Widow in a while. Did she not die?
Melina, is her name Melina?
I think
Yeah,
something like that. Yeah.
yeah. I don't. She didn't die at the end of the Black Widow. And I was like,
Didn't she?
no,
Hmm.
because they're all
I should
standing
watch it
there.
again.
Yeah, they're all standing there at the end, and Shield is it Shield? It's not Shield. It's the military, FBI, all that are pulling up to arrest Natasha, and she's like, "You guys got to get out of here. Go. I got it. I got to handle this." So she
Mm,
doesn't die. Alexi doesn't, obviously. Yelena does not. So it's like, did she go back to work with her pigs?
maybe.
She was she was kind of mean though. That's fine.
Maybe.
Yelena and Natasha
She
deserve
can live with
better.
the pigs. Bucky can go live with the goats. You know, just everybody can have their own little farm.
Were you picking up some like romantic vibes between Mel and Bucky? Because I was, and I was like, if this girl does not hop off,
Well, the girl who plays Mel posted this video on TikTok, I think it was, and she's just like, Bucky and Thunderbolts got me like, and it's this like weird flirty song thing, and I'm like, what? And everybody's like, girl, is you YN?
what? I
It was wild.
that's girl, calm down. Like he's clearly not yours.
Is
Calm
he
down.
yours? Is he yours?
I'll fight for that man. I'll do a lot of terrible things for that man. But anyways, I thought
Anyway.
she was supposed to be Songbird, who is Melissa
Mhm,
Gold in the comics. So like, where'd
mhm.
that go?
I think I thought I just saw something. I think the writers, Eric, I think his name's Eric. I'll feel so bad if his name's not Eric. But yeah, I think he said that that's supposed to be a thing. So
Where's she at? Like, where's her
I
powers? What is she doing? They
don't know.
it could have been cool, but I feel like there was a lot of stuff that was supposed to happen in this movie that didn't because earlier today they said that US agent was going to be the main antagonist of the movie, that
Hmm.
Val was going to lie and say that your super soldier serum is diminishing, so you
Hmm.
have to get more or something like that. And I was like, that would have been horrible. That would have been such a bad movie. Thank you
That
for
would have been
not
weird.
doing that.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. My husband's favorite character was John Walker.
Oh,
And I thought that was an interesting choice. I was like, okay, all right. But he did have a really decent character arc in this movie. And I really liked how at the end where, you know, they're pulling Bob off of the void, how he was the one to grab his arm and actually stop him from punching the void.
yeah.
Because, like, I mean, he's so violent as a guy. And so him stopping that was, I don't know. I just thought that was really neat for his character.
He had a really good arc. I agree. I hope he went home to his wife and kid. Like that's what I was hoping for. I was hoping to see a scene where it's just like him going home.
I
But
don't know.
but no, they could have after so much trauma that we all went through together at the movie theater, going through our own mental illnesses, they could have given us one thing, but they didn't.
They were all together. I
I
think
don't think they
that's the
like each
good
other.
thing. They do now, I think. They'll put up with each other now.
Yeah, I think they're just like paid to be around each other. I think that's so very different than just
I
hanging out
don't know.
together.
I don't know. Like,
I liked their new looks though that we saw in the post-credit scene. Like they looked good.
yes. Yes. And okay, do not get me started on Bucky having a red star on his like jacket. I'm like,
I was
and I
stressed. I was
like
like, this is
that's
it. I have I have to marry this man. Like this is it.
you are married already.
So are you.
Different universe, okay?
Yeah, I'm in the multiverse right now. Just
hmm But yeah, I know it's like a comic thing. I don't think it's Doomstrike. That's probably wrong, but one of the comics he wears something with a red star on it. And
most of them because that's the look of the Winter Soldier. Doomstrike, he has it too.
hmm hmm yeah, but
That's
it's
such a
like
good comic
for
run
him
though.
to
Oh,
yeah, for him to voluntarily wear something with a big red star on it, it's like, okay, he's like accepted his past. That's great.
I think he accepted all that in the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I think now he's just I think he's comfortable moving on to his next thing as not as a congressman, not as someone with a job, but with someone who's a hero.
hmm hmm Yeah, yeah. Oh, Bucky. Ugh, his entrance on the motorcycle. That was phenomenal.
That was a blessing, if I do say so myself. Yes.
It was great. It was like I was made for this, losers. Like, like dodging bullets. Like that's Bucky. The guy's so cool.
He is cool though.
He is. He's very cool.
Yeah. So what else are
Oh.
on this list of notes you have?
This list of notes. I mean, John Walker calling Bob Bobby over and over and over again drove me nuts.
Why? I thought it was
Um,
sweet.
what? That's like his whole trauma thing. Like, I
I
think
don't.
his dad or whatever called him Bobby,
Yeah, but
and
Walker didn't know that though.
well, no, but I don't know.
So if you
I'm of
look
the
at it
mindset of calling people by their given name until told otherwise. But
with
that's just me.
Walker, he's a military man. In the military, when you get close to someone, you give them a nickname. So that's what I took it as like, okay, he's starting to accept him.
Okay. I I saw it more as like a mocking thing, but I
Very
think
well
that's
could
the
have
great
been.
thing about art
Yeah,
that we
subjective.
have different interpretations.
Yeah,
So
very true.
let's see. Okay. Yes. So when Yelena is walking into the vault, she like Valentina's got that voiceover, and that very well could have been the same briefing that like Val's giving John as John is following Yelena into the vault. Do you know what I'm saying there? I don't know. I get really excited and then I make no
I'm trying to
sense.
figure out what you mean. What vault?
Okay,
At the beginning?
the vault built into the mountain.
Oh, the incinerator vault?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. So like Yelena's following Ghost,
Yeah.
but um Valentina's voiceover, like she's like, oh yeah, she's perfectly like it's not capable, but she has whatever that she can rob me. But like the way she says it, it could have been the same thing that she's saying to
Yeah.
John. And like we could be from the point of view of John watching Yelena going in. So I thought that was cool.
That is interesting. I didn't
Um
think about that.
yeah, I'm kind of a nerd.
Aren't we all?
Yes. If you're listening to this podcast, probably should just accept that about yourself.
It's like it just adds to our quality.
Exactly. Exactly. What else? Oh, did it say 14 months later with the post-credit scene?
You stared into my soul when you asked that. Uh, yeah, I think so, didn't it?
I don't know, because I just saw it like today, different places, people talking about 14 months later, and I'm like, where? And I watched the movie 3 times, and I apparently have missed it every time. So,
Let me see. Thunderbolts, 14 months. Sometimes if you just type random things into Google, it'll just show you what you need. Sometimes it doesn't. Like right now, it's not going to say.
yeah.
Uh, yeah, I have no freaking idea now. The sequence
I
is
don't
set
know.
14 months after the events of Thunderbolts. Yeah, so
Did
14
it
months.
say that? Okay.
I
Yeah, I
think
missed that every time.
didn't it? Now I don't know. I'm second guessing myself. Now I don't know. Hey, listeners, if you know, let us know in the comments because we don't know.
Yes, please.
Yeah. Also, what's interesting is the post-credit scene was filmed by the Russos. So it's like, what are you guys up to?
I noticed it's just like a completely different color palette.
It was
And
very, very different vibe.
yes, like it kind of jarred me when I saw it. I was like, wait, this isn't the same color scheme. What's happening? Are we in a different universe?
Yeah.
But I don't think so.
Well, that's what I was thinking. I was like, okay, so they're trying to start him off on a brand new vibe, new energy, because that's what it felt like. And then find out it's the Russos. I was like, it did feel like the Russos, didn't it? Okay. So it's like, what is this scene from? Is this from Doomsday? Because
Maybe.
that makes a lot of sense. Because when
Mhm.
else would we be watching the Fantastic Four touchdown
Right? I don't know.
from that point of view? Or is it from Fantastic Four? Are we going to get the new Avengers in Fantastic Four?
Maybe they'll be in a post-credit scene.
I swear to God. 14 months later than that. Goodness gracious.
I I'm way late to the Fantastic Four train here. Like I just watched that first movie with Chris Evans
Yeah, it's kind of weird,
maybe
right?
last week.
And they're good.
So
They're good movies for what they
they
are.
are good movies. Like
Yeah.
I was holding off because people are like, "Oh, they're whatever." But like,
Yeah,
it's a
right.
good
See, when
movie.
those came out at that time, we got nothing. We got
Mm,
nothing. We maybe got like Blade, Spider-Man, all those. But like compared to now, we got nothing. It was like
mm.
one every what few years. And I've watched them. I watch them every year. I watch all the movies every year. But I love the Fantastic Four movies. I don't care. You may not like it. You may hate that Galactus is a big cloud. Yeah, that part sucked. But for what they were, they brought the heat. They did really well.
hmm hmm Yeah, I agree. The only thing that I was like, this could have been better was when they initially got their powers. It was kind of like, but also you got to think, well, what were VFX like at the time? Okay, we can't go anything too crazy, and we don't want it to end up like, Spider-Man, where it's just like all of a sudden you see the DNA changing and blah blah blah. So I can't complain too much about that either.
See, I don't care about CGI, not even a
Mm,
slightest bit, because it's like I know it's fantasy. I know it's not
yes.
real. That is fine. I've never sat there and be like, oh, the CGI is terrible. I don't care. I'm so easy to please. I am fine. Like I watched all of She-Hulk and I was like, what is everyone so mad about? I still don't get it. Like I don't understand it. It's just
Yeah.
it's fantasy. It like
hmm
come on now. We all
Yeah.
survived the Twilight movies, but we're mad about this? Goodness gracious.
I think people just have way too high expectations these days. And I'm not saying like the quality is extremely low or anything, but like, after Endgame, people were still expecting Endgame. And you can't. That was like a once in a decade movie. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I hate when people say best movie since Endgame or everything has sucked after Endgame. And I'm like, why is that the bar?
Right.
Like, I don't understand. The MCU is the MCU. If anything, we
Mhm.
should be going by phases, not by a
Mm.
movie from that long ago that we're all still, I guess, traumatized by, I guess. It sounds like. It's just weird to me. Like, who cares? It's just
Yeah.
so strange. People, it's a very, very entitled fandom. We will complain about every single thing, any little thing. And then we complain. When I say we, I don't mean me. Give me whatever you want. I don't care. But they'll complain that there's too many projects. There's not enough projects. Something gets canceled. Something gets delayed. Something comes out too early. Just shut up and watch. Like, or don't
Yeah.
watch. Whatever
Mhm.
works. But my gosh, there has to be other hobbies in the world than complaining.
That's a fun hobby.
It's just, it has to be exhausting. You have to be tired.
Mhm. Mhm. Yes. Positive vibes are way more fun.
Agreed.
Let's see. Do I have anything else worthwhile? I thought the cactus berry scene was random. Uh,
I thought the
just like,
cucumber
oh, there's a
scene
cactus berry.
I thought the cucumber scene was really cute when they're all like
It was
cucumber.
cute.
It was. It was just so adorable. I don't know why. I was like, I want to adopt all of you. You're so cute.
Like, let's just be friends. We'll all live in Avengers Tower.
Yeah,
Who's
and
gonna
he's
eat the Pop Tarts? I don't know.
like, I don't even care. Like, eat whatever Pop Tarts you want. I love all of you. You're mine now.
Oh, let's see. Um, hmm.
So
Yeah. Yeah. So she had her line when she was going up in the elevator shaft or whatever, how she's like, "Oh, don't even get me started on the childhood trauma. Child assassin, I win every time." And then later, when she sees Bob and his childhood, and she doesn't, she's not the cocky, look, I was a child assassin, like I've got more trauma than you. She was there, and she's like, your trauma is equally as valid as mine. And I thought that was so great.
the she also had an amazing character arc throughout this entire movie, throughout this entire MCU. She has started from literally nothing to just being mad at her sister's grave to
Mhm.
here we are, her leading the new Avengers and accepting others' trauma and not trying to one up them. That's beautiful. Most people we know can't do that. That's crazy.
Yes, I loved it. Such good writing.
So as we come to the end of the episode, what would you rate it out of 10?
12.
12. And you saw it 3 times. 12. Wow. Well,
I
that's
did
very
see it
nice.
3 times. What about you?
I said 9.5. What was it? Oh, I docked it half a point because of Songbird. It was like, all right,
Mm.
I just put so much work into a video, and I was like, I can't let you guys get away with that. Um, so whatever. All right, so 12 out of 10. Perfect.
12 out of 10.
So, thank you for coming on this episode again. This was so much fun. I have such a good time with you, and it was nice to talk to someone about Thunderbolts rather than just talking to myself in a screen.
Well, it was good talking with you about it too, and thank you so much for having me on.
Of course. So, uh, where can our listeners find you?
I'm on Instagram, I'm on TikTok, I'm on YouTube, but not really so much on there much anymore. I just said much like 2 times, but
That's
but
okay.
yeah, I'm decently active on Instagram. Amy Piero, I think, is my handle. If it's not Amy Piero, it's Amy Piero 3010.
Well, wherever you're listening to this episode, look under the episode at the show notes and you will be able to find the links to Amy's Instagram. So, just in case she gets it wrong, it doesn't matter. Wherever you're listening to this episode, click that subscribe button so you don't miss any of my amazing guests like Amy or any future episode. Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed it. Have a marvelous night.